seemed like an eternity. We finally found that there was 2 ground wires off the fender, up laying under the battery that, was removed out of the car and replaced with another dead battery, so that was great. Anywho, I was trying to go through the wiring with a booster pack, disconnected from a dead battery. I put a battery on charge, and unfortunately this morning, I sent Junior out to swap the batteries around, and lo and behold, Mikey found the 2 ground wires that were inevitably the straw that broke the camel's back. So I told him to hook it back to the fender to where the grounding point was, and boom, it fires up and runs. Thank you, Mikey, for doing that. Thanks for driving me retarded while I was doing what I was doing, causing me to overlook maybe something stupid. I have a hard time with remembering the word kiss, which is, keep it simple, Sean, or stupid as, whatever terminology you've got. Anyways, moving forward, we took the exhaust off, the rest of it off. We're going to get the fuel tank out of here. We have to take the fuel pump out of the tank and make it work in the car. So we're going to do this, and we're going to go put it back on the trailer and take it out to my buddies where it's going to, be introduced to a welder. So right now I'm in the process. I just cut all the park and brake cables out. I've had them where they weren't taken out and they've been turned wrapped around the axles and locked the car up. So we removed them. We're going to bypass the heater core. Strictly stock derby. We are allowed to weld 2 inches onto the frame and 2 inches onto the bumper with a flat piece of steel. We're going to introduce her to a 77 pointy Monty bumper that you seen was going to go on the old Buick out back. Today she will be receiving a locked up differential. By that we mean take it off. I'll get you in here after. For those of you that don't know how to make a poor man's quasi track, we're going to do a little. We're going to weld her up. So anyways, welcome back. 210 Grand Marquis Luxury Edition, because we don't believe in driving junk. We got the luxury edition, kind of the essence of cars. Probably not. Anyways, we'll get back to you here in a little bit. Thank you. Another thing, if this was anything but stock derby, I would take right here. I've done it on the Volvo 240 sedans. Mikey, you're in the camera.
Sorry.
Stand still. You wrap a chain around right here. Run it over to this bolt. You tighten her up. So you want to go do a loop right around this bushing. Just trust me. Either that or knock that off and put a great big flat washer exactly the size of that. Because when your front end goes up, guess what? If that goes out, control arm drops down. Lose the steering. So if your derby permits it, take that off, put a big old flat washer right here, right where my fingers are. So she can't pull through the bushing. Oops, sorry, Gotti. And then, like I said, on top here, I don't know, oh, you can see it. Put a bolt right there in the chain. Bring it right around this so it doesn't pull out. Poor man's way of doing things. The fronts, you don't really need to do anything. A lot of people pipe these tie rod ends, right from the bellows boot out. I, on the other hand, wrap them up with duct tape, strengthen numbers. It does not do anything other than possibly slow them down from bending and or breaking. Now, you're in the heat and you lose steering, tie rod end drops off, digs in the ground. You can't do anything. Most of you already know, if nothing else, take that nut off, smash that down out of there. It's just a tapered fit. Get yourself a torch right there on the tie rod end and blow that piece out. Remember, it's derby, it's not road. Big old flat washer on the bottom, bolt right up through like that. Boom, tie rod's hooked back up. We'll get you through the remainder. Probably may shear the bolt off, but who the hell cares? At least you got steering. And if nothing else, best thing you can do, keep the wheels straight, get on the throttle, and just feed her the onions. Straight, don't turn the wheels, and just front end long track. or ass on long track, whichever the case may be. So there's a couple tips and tricks I'd like to pass on to you, you know, for your new guys or guys that are in it and not really sure how to go about it. Maybe you're a mini car driver stepping up. These are just things you can do, you know, for future references. Same as that ball joint there. Go up top, take your torch. If the ball joint were to let go, right where that grease fitting is, blow a hole right down through. That center's probably out, so you gotta take that nut off right there, smack it about 3 or 4 times. The ball joint stud will come out. Run a bolt right down through. Put 3 or 4 flat washers in here so it can turn on. It's gonna creak, crack. Sound like most of you when you get about 50 years old getting up in the morning. But anyways, another way to get you back in the ring, you know. Anywho, you can do the same thing on the upper ball joint there, as we told you how to fix the tie rod in the lower. Tips and trips I'd like to pass along to the younger generation, because you know what? Probably by the time you do it and perfect it, I'll long since been retired. And maybe old enough that I'll forget I told you how to do it, so you can't bring this shit back to beat me. All right, have a good day. Oh, welcome back. Well, we're still working on the junk. You've heard me speak about it many times. I'd like to introduce Dork. It's my grandson. Just turned 1 year old. Don't mind.
Hello, baby.
Looks like you touched a static ball.
Hello, baby.
You know, even he knows that boards are junk. Look at him. He's ready to start crying. Papa, why is this not a shed? What do you think, Dork? You want to get in there? Want to start tearing the manifold off? Where's the headers, Poppy? Hey, come out through the hood and make lots of noise. No, probably not. Sorry, we're. Oh, I know. It's a Ford.
It's a Ford, baby.
Let's get up here and sit down. A lot of noise, eh, buddy? You say hi to people out there? Hey, say hi.
Jackson.
Hi.
Jackson. Jackson. Hello, baby.
Many of you are
Hello.
wondering what Dork likes for pastimes, titties and beer. You know, he likes the boobies. Not a bad kid
He's
to
a
walk
ladies'
around
man.
with. Not a bad kid to walk around with there. You walk around and he picks out the big ones for you and he goes, hey, like a little pike? Are you like a little pike? Chick magnet? Hey? Chick magnet?
Jackson,
What do you
looking in. Hi, BB.
We're gonna go to the Derby. Hey, you coming? And say go, Poppy, go. Hey. Oh, it's Ford. I can't make no guarantees. Probably might run long enough to get off the trailer in the rain. Hopefully they don't have best decorated, because that by that time it'll be heated up. Won't start till Tuesday the next week after. Hey. We're gonna try her out though, aren't we, buddy?
We got more people for you to meet. Yes, we do. Oh, kuzu, kuzu, kuzu.
What are you eating, Phoebe? What are you eating, Phoebe? How you doing, Mikey?
Cleaning out the window.
Cleaning out the window. You done a good. Hey, Braden. Are you a drug dealer?
No.
Because on my YouTube channel, we don't promote crack. Pull up your pants. Or chip off your walk. What do you think, Dort? What do you think?
Austin, why don't you say hi?
That's my oldest son, Austin. Dort's dad. Kayla's over there walking around with his mom.
Try to stay out of the camera.
She's camera shy. Don't want to be shy. So, what do you think? 210 Marquis. You gonna get her done? Right? Is you gonna get her done? No, probably not. You're gonna wire it up?
Look at his feet. He looks so relaxed.
You're gonna wire it up? With your outfit on, you kind of look like the Hamburglar. Can we call you that? Just the Hamburglar? What are you doing? Your James Bond workout? 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then shake it out. Shake it out. Take it out. Take it out. Hey?
We're doing. What we doing?
Come on, work out. Show them. I work out.
What?
Wiggle, 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 wiggle,
Two.
wiggle, yeah. Just think, buddy, you can look back in a couple of years, see yourself on here and go, Mommy and Daddy made me ride in a Ford. Poppy derbied one. Everybody hates you, and later on you might become a serial killer. Look like right now you do a good job of being a serial killer. How many boxes of cornflakes did you kill off this morning? Or were they Fruity Pops? Okay. Coke Pops, Fruity Pops, Fruity Pebbles. Fruity Pebbles? Fruity Pebbles? Can you give me a high five?
He's kicking the
High
Ford.
five? High five?
No,
Can you give me a high
Papa.
five? No, not yet. Not yet. Tick, 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 tick. Want a pair of gloves on? Me?
No, just this clip.
Jackson, do you know what they found when they done the autopsy on Liberace? No, probably not. Michael's other glove. Yeah, that's right. We're going to attempt to remove the inner fender. You know. Probably got to watch so we don't lose the battery and everything else. Keep an eye on that, Mikey. Make sure.
Yep.
Okay, I got one more 8mm bolt up in there. Good old derby life, eh, hon? Being at the shop 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The joys. This battery needs to be charged, but we already got one on charge, so maybe there'll be enough voltage, probably not, to get it out there. Of course not, it's been round and round. Perfect song on the radio. See, we got the right size extractor to get up on that. I got our 2-foot extension here so we can stay away from our work. See if this works.
You mean the 3-mile long extension?
Well, according to Derek, he had one. Oh, I see why it won't come out. It's stripped in there. It's not the head of the bolt, it's the threads of the bolt, so. Is that the whole bottom of the battery? Yeah, well, it's sitting on the frame and up against there, so.
So it should be okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see if we can rip that down out of there. Or maybe.
Put some balls behind it, Ricky.
Mikey? Yeah, I can get the sawzall up in there.
Rocket, Mr. Leahy.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have to lower it down, lift the hood. I gotta lift it up and take the drain out of there. Right now the differential is draining the fluid. If you want to come back here, we'll take you in and I'll show you how to weld the differential. I mean, we're not actually gonna do it, but I'll show you where you need to weld and then we'll get you in here. So, as you can see, no posi track. She's currently a 1-wheel peel. So, when you're ready to start welding, of course, you grind up a spot over here, hook your ground to, and, you know, weld through it. Now, ideally, rule of thumb, you pull the axles. So, and to do that, you turn around, roll this over until you see the head of an 8mm bolt. Right there. So I'm using a paint marker as a pointer. So you take that bolt, pull it out. This pin will slide down out of here. Okay? And then you want to roll this around. Take your rear brakes off. And you shove the axles in. Now here, if you look in here on a bit of an angle, see that copper colored piece right there? As you shove in on the axle, that C-clip will drop out. Repeat the procedure on the other side. So then you slide your axles out of the diff. Sorry about the camera work here. But then you take your welder and you get right in the corner of that gear and just
Is that the exact sound?
No, probably not. How about... Anyways, enough of that. You want to fill that black in. And then you repeat it down here. And of course, right up there. And then turn right there. So when you're done, you let her cool and you turn your drive shaft 360 degrees. You can see Mama's turning it right now. And then you got one more side to do. So again, yeah. Walk. Oh yeah. And you let it all cool. And you put the axles back in. Slide your C-clips in. Slide that big gargantuan pin back in. Put your 8mm bolt in. Put your carburetor on. Put 2 bolts in here. 2 bolts in here. Now, if you're towing your derby car on a trailer, you don't need to put diff fluid back in it. Trust me, folks, you're going off the trailer, into the ring, smashing it up, coming out of the ring, back on the trailer, going home. So ideally, you're in there for 10, 15, 20 minutes, maybe upwards of an hour, depending. But long story short, you don't have to fill the diff because you might have to take it apart and, you know, redo your welds or change an axle in this case, because, you know, we are dealing with a Ford differential. So despite what most people would say, they are junk. If this was any other Derby, we'd be turning around swapping this differential out to a GM rear end, you know, where the arms go up here. This is a watch-link style, you know. So ordinarily on the older cars, there's a bracket here, and then this one here. Your arms would come up into here. You can put a GM rear end right in. You know, good thing about this is it does have a bolt-in drive shaft. Little Derby tricks. You want to take right here, and you want a seat belt. Wrap it around as tight as you can, and then duct tape it. That keeps this U-joint right there from falling out. Yes, it does have a clip in it, but that's good for highway. You ever torqued on her, you know, back out of the driveway doing about 10 miles an hour, put her in first gear and hold her right, just feed her the onions. Boom, there goes the drive shaft. Next thing you know, it's down there on the floor, whack it, whack it, whack it, whack. Anyways, moving forward, go up here, don't spare the 100-mile-an-hour tape, do the front one as well. Put your number or your name right here so you know whose drive shaft it is. Anyways, enough about that. That's how you prop a drive shaft and weld the rear end. So, toodles, we're going back to it.